Hi guys, so I am going to be showing you Woebot, and this is actually a great little system. It's really developed for practitioners, clinicians, but it's really helpful for pretty much anybody. And it's literally like a robot that communicates with you. And in essence, what they do is they try to keep you in check. And I'll explain what that means in a few minutes. So I went ahead and answered no thanks to their substance use. If that's something that you are struggling with, then basically what the program does is it modifies some of its content to individuals that are struggling with substance misuse or abuse. So now they're asking me to answer some quick questions about my mood. So I'm going to tell them okay. And as you can see, a lot of these questions are about measuring depression or anxiety, so that way they can get a gauge of where you are at individually. So not only are you getting a program, but you're getting something that's a little bit more customized to what you might need or what the program thinks you might benefit from. Went ahead and answered that I was feeling depressed nearly every day, let's say. And its response is pretty straightforward. Yet empathetic, something that you would want to see from a therapist, in terms of asking, that these can be some tough questions. I'm going to ask the Woebot, why do you ask it? And again, like I said earlier, it gets a sense of where you are at individually. See, I'm an emotional assistant. I'm like a wise little person you can consult with during difficult times and not so difficult times. It is a CBT-based program, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. So this type of therapeutic approach is based on helping people change their cognitions, which we know if we change our thoughts, then we can change our behaviors. Thoughts are the root to how we behave. So a lot of times we get confused and think that behavior is the first thing to look at, but essentially it's going to be our thoughts, because if you think about something in a positive way, you're going to react in a positive way. If you think of something in a negative way, more likely you're going to respond in a negative way. Okay, so here's a little bit of our conversation. I told Woebot that I was feeling anxious, sympathetic. I'm sorry to hear that, Ashley. Asking me if I wanted some help here. Says it's delighted to help, and then asks me if I want help right now, and that it's going to take about 10 minutes. So the only thing is that it does have limited responses, but pretty much it's really geared towards helping you have an introduction. It's not here to replace a therapist, but this is a really good icebreaker for people that may be nervous about going into therapy. This is a great introduction into what some of the questions might be like when you're sitting across from somebody, or with everything that's going on now, getting online with somebody through telehealth. So I love that it asks this question, that I want you to tune into your negative automatic thoughts in this moment. Now, the only problem here is, what if you don't know what an automatic negative thought is? So this is where, it has its limitations, but it's a really good start, like I said, to help you understand that. And when we talk about negative automatic thoughts, we're talking about what are the things that pop up automatically. Like, what's that little inner voice inside of your head telling you? Usually it is a negative thing rather than a positive thing, because if it was positive, you probably wouldn't be anxious or depressed. So this is where you would definitely start at. So I just gave it some random things like, I suck, I'm not perfect. I spelled perfect wrong, but it still understood me. No one loves me. And then asks me which one I want to work on. And then it introduces cognitive distortions, which is when our thinking doesn't really come out as clearly as it should. To say no one loves me is very matter of fact. It's very all or nothing. The reality that no one really loves you is not true. So this is where this type of a program can definitely work with you on your thoughts.